Welcome to the Lynn Miller Room here at the AAC. This edition of the Eagles Sports Coaches Show. Our first guest today, Rex Chaney, longtime golf coach here at Morehead State University. Coach, always great to see you.
Well, it's always great to be here.
Tell us a little bit about you've got one tournament under your belt, and more to play in the fall before we take a little time off and get ready for the spring.
Well, we played the Washoe Winds tournament this past weekend, and we host that tournament. We had 14 teams down there, 94 players, and we have 4 seniors. We also have 4 freshmen, 1 sophomore, and 1 junior. And my upperclassmen didn't play the first 2 rounds the way that they can play, and I was a little disappointed in that. I think we all summer long have not walked enough. We've ridden carts, but we've got some young men who can play, and we're looking forward to the rest of the season.
People don't understand that in a tournament you walk, and if you're not used to walking, things called blisters and rubbing the shoes and the socks and the wet stuff will cause blisters. And I figured by Monday, that second or the last round, they were hurting a little bit more.
Well, our freshman Logan Hogg from down at Salt Lick, Bath County, was really playing well. And I didn't know that he had had a fracture of his back when he was a junior in high school. And all of a sudden, I see him walking like a 93-year-old man out there. And I would pull over and I said, "What's wrong?" And he explained to me he was having muscle spasms, which he has occasionally. And it was because I think he was halfway in the 36-hole round, 27 holes. Well, I immediately called Sarah Larson, our trainer. She got out, stretched him out, and he competed. But this young man competed very well and gave us 2 good rounds. In the round where his back spasms were acting up, his score went up a little bit, but I can understand that.
You talk about a good mix between the seniors and your sophomores and your freshmen. You have bringing in your freshmen this year, you're bringing in some very talented players.
Well, the freshmen that are playing now, Will Branham from Pikeville, I thought he was the best prospect in the state of Kentucky this year, and I had ranked Logan Hogg from Bath County number 3, and I think now he was number 2 in the state. And we had a walk-on, 6'4" kid from Albany, Illinois, Michael Fehrenbacher. And he's turned out to be a pleasant surprise. I knew he was a great athlete because he pitched their baseball team into the regionals. He was number 1 on their golf team for 4 years there and had set course records. And he was their leading scorer, 3-point shooter in basketball. So he's a great athlete. So we have those 3 plus a redshirt kid from Richmond, Kentucky. His mother's a native of Round County named Brad Noonan. And he has really made some progress through his redshirt year. So he's a freshman too, but not a freshman academically.
Well, you get a lot of work in, as you said, in the summer. You have to kind of take them on their own word. And I guess when you first get out here in August, when you get the kids back, you can tell real shortly who's worked and who hasn't.
Well, the thing that happens, you've heard of senioritis. And I never thought it would happen with any of my guys, but I think we had a little bit of that. And these guys, it got to be kind of a hot, dry summer for a while, and I think I thought it was much easier and better to ride a golf cart and play a little golf. But I have to say this, Matt Logan from up at Olive Hill, he was walk-on here originally. He has come miles. He ended up shooting 71, which is 1 under par. Then he shoots 79, and I said, "Matt, what happened?" He said, "Coach, I've ridden carts all summer, but I've played every day." Then he shoots 68 in the final round, which was the lowest round of the tournament to that point. And this young man, I'm proud of him because he just told me the truth. I was not in shape, therefore my score soars. But he's going to be a welcomed addition to this bunch. He played mainly 6-man last year, but he's come from nowhere.
Tell us a little bit about how hard it is to start the year with a tournament that you all put on, because not only you have to worry about your team, you also have to worry about what goes on, but you have some great help putting on that tournament.
Yes, we do, and I have to pay compliments as bad as I hate to Turk Wendell, our assistant athletic director, assistant compliance coordinator. With Turk there, it takes 50% or more of my load off me, because you can understand that all the coaches are coming to me wanting to know the little details, and you've told them 3 times, but they still come back. And then we had Sarah Larson there, who's both an assistant athletic director and a trainer, certified trainer. And Sarah Larson is worth her weight in gold, because she tutored the guys at night so they keep up academically on the Monday and Tuesday day. The thing we've already got the course set up for next year's tournament. So it's a year long of inviting people and getting them in there. And we had a great tournament this year. Jerry Schaffner, who's the golf pro and director of golf down there for the State Park, Wasiota Winds Golf Course, and his green superintendent, Ronnie, is just super people, and everybody in state government really wants the tournament down there. So, we had a good time.
How did it end up there in the first place? I know it's relatively, 5-6 years old in this tournament. Tell us how it ended up getting in Pineville.
Our golf course, we were hosting a tournament in the spring, and because we have clay, it had been a very wet spring, so we decided that we couldn't host it in the spring, and we did host it in the fall here, but we were going through some changes and some bunkers and things. John Brock, who was superintendent of schools around county, was the park superintendent down there, and I called him and I said, John, I played your course 2 weeks ago. It's a great course. I think it'd be a great course for us to host a tournament. And he worked out every detail. I mean, it was like just walking in and have the kids tee off. Of course, there's an awful lot of pairings and this sort of thing, getting the teams in there. But I need to mention Jim Wells, Beach. He's in charge of our rules.
Yep, longtime assistant athletic director here at Morehead State, longtime employee at Morehead State.
And he does a good job for us on the rules, so I sort of turned it over to him. I must mention this. The food is second to nobody down there. If you go through a buffet line, it is great for all you coaches who didn't show up this year.
You take a look at your schedule. You go from hosting a tournament, and then your fall schedule, probably second to none. You got the Louisville Cardinal Classic coming up, Murray State, Cincinnati, and then the Kenny Perry WKU Invitational, and then the Austin Peay. That's your fall schedule. That's not the schedule. I mean, this is a very tough and going to be demanding schedule.
Well, the thing that we try to do for our young men, we try to play the tournaments close at home if we can get in good tournaments. We don't call anybody. We want our kids to play against the best. And when we go to Louisville, you're playing against Big Ten, you're playing against Big East, and we've got a chance to see how we match up. And it's the same thing true when we go to Northern Kentucky. The Traditions golf course, they had the State Am there this year. They had the State Open there. So it's a great golf course and a lot of very, very good golf teams there. So we like to give them an opportunity and let them progress. Maybe we got another Josh Teeter in the bunch.
That's true, and you have to be very proud of him. I mean, he's worked awful hard, and with golf, it's such a week in, week out thing. But Josh has had a pretty good career thus far, and it seems like he's getting better each year.
Well, this year he had kind of a down year playing. He's ready for a breakthrough, but he's made, with 4 tournaments left, he's made $810,000. That's not too bad.
No, that's about what golf coaches make here.
Oh, yeah. I'm a missionary. I want you to know that.
But you have to be proud of that, as we said. And then, of course, you take some time off and you get ready for the spring. And, of course, the OVC Championship at the Greystone Golf Course in Dixon, Tennessee, coming up in April. And a lot of hard work between now and then.
Yes, sir. We play 3 tournaments in Florida during the month of March. and we're trying to get to warm weather to get our kids ready. I think we can be competitive for the conference championship this year. We get our seniors going, some help from the underclassmen, and I think the sky's the limit for these people.
Monday and Tuesday, the 24th and 25th of September, the Louisville Cardinal Classic in Simpsonville, Kentucky, and then on October 1st and 2nd, the Murray State Invitational in Murray. That's the next two tournaments. But before we let you go, I know that one of your former baseball players will be entering the Hall of Fame this year, Charlie Atkins. I knew Charlie for a long time. He passed away a couple years ago, but I know as a former coach, you're very proud of the fact that you have another former player entering the MSU Athletic Hall of Fame.
I am. Charlie Atkins was a great pitcher for us, and his catcher was Johnny Bench when he was in the minors. And Charlie, had the big curveball, and he snapped his elbow. Couldn't play anymore, but he would have been pitching for the Reds same time Bench got there.
Yeah, he played with Bench and Bernie Carbo down in Tampa, and then went on and played in Billings, Montana, and had a great career with the Reds. As you said, an injury cut him short, but it kind of enabled him to get into what I think he was meant to get into. He was coaching baseball, and he put a lot of players in college that way.
Probably one of the outstanding high school baseball coaches that's ever been in the state of Kentucky.
He won one state championship in a single-A school in Paintsville, but I know that anytime you can get a former player elected to the Hall of Fame, only better part would have been if Charlie would have still be here to enjoy it himself, but his son Keith, who is the coach of Campbellsville basketball, will come down and do that coming up later in October. But as we said, a very sweet moment because another of your former players is in the Athletic Hall of Fame.
Yes, sir, and it's very deserving.
Rex Chaney has been our guest. That's this first segment of the Eagles Sports Coaches Show. We'll come back. We'll have more from the AAC after this. This is the Eagles Sports Coaches Show.